Steve Jobs didn't just announce products, he orchestrated moments. And in 2010, when he revealed the first iPad, he pulled off one of the greatest sales tricks of all time. He got people to cheer for the price. It sounds freaking unbelievable, right? It does to me. Like, until I saw the video, I didn't believe it. Like, I've done hundreds of sales meetings with high-beam marketing, and not one single time has anyone cheered when I talk about price. And once you know what he did, and once you see it, you'll never look at pricing the same way again. So let's break it down. How he did it step by step. Steve Jobs steps onto the stage and the crowd goes crazy. I mean, he's a big celebrity at this point, no big deal there. He walks out, signature look, black turtleneck, jeans, sneakers, same as always. But in this keynote, he was gonna have a little trick up his sleeve. Unveils the iPad. The room goes crazy. He frames it as a perfect middle ground between the MacBook and an iPhone, and then for 75 minutes, he shows you all the ways you can use it. You can surf the web, watch movies, read books, and the crowd is going crazy because at the time, this was an incredibly revolutionary piece of technology. But then ultimately at the end of this presentation, it's time to talk turkey. We got to know, what is this thing going to cost? We're going to have to talk about the price. No one cheers for price because price is pain. Studies show that when people see a price tag, the same part of their brain that processes physical pain, it lights up. And that's why most people hesitate before making a purchase. Steve Jobs is a genius, and a marketing genius at that. He knew this, and he had a plan for it. So as the room is silent, Jobs says, if you listen to the pundits, we're going to price it under $1,000. And then all of a sudden, boom, massive $999 symbol appears behind him. And you can feel the weight in the room. Not a single clap. Nobody's clapping for price. This is what we expect. But then you realize what Jobs has done. He set an anchor. He set his first price anchor. And an anchor is the number you hear in a pricing discussion. Even though nobody said the iPad would be under $1,000, that number is now locked in their minds. So when he then follows it up with a story about, the team had a lot of ambitious goals, we worked really hard, nobody said we could make it, we crammed a ton of technology into the thinnest thing of all time. The audience is getting ready to hear that it's going to get even more expensive. They're hearing about all the things that are happening. They're like, oh, I didn't even know if I could afford $1,000. Now I'm going to have to do $2,000, $3,000, $4,000? It's insanity. And just as the tension reaches its peak, Jobs drops the real price. He says, we're not going to price it at $999. The iPad will start at just $499. The crowd goes nuts. Why? $500 product, and they're going crazy. He's given them a gift, and that's because their brains weren't comparing it to the actual cost of making an iPad. They were comparing it to the $1,000 price anchor that Jobs had planted in their minds 30 seconds before. Even the most expensive model later on in the speech came in under $999, so it's a value all the way around. The audience really felt like they were going to rob Apple. This was such a good value for them. So how can you use price anchoring in your business? Steve didn't lower the price of the iPad. He lowered the perceived pain of the price, and you can do the same thing in your business. Here are the 3 ways that you can use price anchoring right now. Start with the highest price first. If you're selling a product for $3,000 a month, mention a product that a competitor is selling for $10,000 a month. We could charge 10 grand for this like so-and-so does, but our price is only $3,000 if you buy today. You could even use the decoy option. You ever wonder why restaurants have a $200 bottle of wine on the menu? Like, that wine bottle is there to make the $75 bottle feel reasonable. And finally, you can frame the price against daily cost instead of total price, right? So instead of saying something costs $1,000 per year, you say it costs $2.74 a day. That's less than a cup of coffee. So not only are you anchoring the price at a very low thing, but you're comping it to something that people already deem as very inexpensive, which is a daily cup of Starbucks, right? Small tweaks like this can turn price resistance into excitement. Humans are wired to justify emotional decisions with logic. And if someone wants something badly enough, they will find a way to rationalize that purchase. I promise you. Price anchoring comes in right here as well, because if you're telling me that normally this thing is $1,000, but you're telling me today only I can get it for $500, I'm probably going to do it. We don't buy things based on logic. We use logic to justify our emotions. We are insanely weird creatures, but this is how we work. And at the end of the day, the best brands, they know how to guide that emotional response. And if you want to know the best place to practice some of these price anchoring techniques, I'd recommend social media marketing. And if you want to learn more about social media marketing, this video right here is where I condense 15 years of my knowledge in the social media marketing space down to just 38 minutes. So I'd love for you to watch that and let me know what you think.